Welcome to Becoming OGs, Becoming Owanate and Godwin.
Yo, the thing goes. Yo, and
My perspective, my story of how I met Mrs. Wright, my LOML. So let's go back to 2019
I think around this period, November, December.
when I founded Accelerate Innovation Hub, a tech community that was created to support students within the school ecosystem to encourage tech development of tech skills within the school ecosystem.
I attended a female conference which was organized by Accelerate Hub.
Called Opportunities for Females in Tech, OITF. That was like an acronym for that event.
And I went there as a normal attendee. And the event was good, it was great.
So I had Coley, Lewis White, and Blaze, and some other chapter members helped me organize this event. It was a wonderful event. I was not looking forward to meeting my wonderful better half there, but you know, shit happens. Good things happen to good people, supposedly. So we had the event, and one of the speakers that was invited for the event didn't show up. So in the midst of the event, Louis came up to me and said, "Look, there is this person. Her name was Ruth Makri, and she's a technical writer. She's skilled, and she's one that can take on this session, considering the fact that one of our speakers didn't show up."
I was seated and somebody walked up to me. I think Louis White walked up to me and was like, they needed me at like back at the conference hall. And so when I got there, they were like, would I be able to speak, come in to speak?
So when I met Mr. Owanate, then we had this discussion, and I asked her a very simple question: Can you or can you not take the session? So
I was like, I'm not ready. I didn't prepare to speak, and I might just fuck everything up. So Mr. Godwin was there, and he was like, "Oh, no problem, no problem," like snobbish kind of way.
I was in the heat of the moment, so I didn't really have enough time to think as much as I would want to. She was like, "I didn't come prepared. I wouldn't want to mess up the event," and da. She was still trying to explain herself to me, but I was impatient, so I said, "Look, it's okay. Go sit down in the hall. You've done well. Thank you for even stepping out to have this discussion with me."
I went back home after the event. It was a nice event for females.
I started filtering through people that had attended the event to appreciate them, to thank them, and checking on them. So that was when I reached out to. I think I was going through Twitter, and I saw Owanate Amakri on Twitter, and I remembered, I had met this person, so I think I reached out to her to check in. You know, I'm a good guy, so as a good guy, I checked in.
How many weeks later or how many days later, I got a message on Twitter, a DM on Twitter, asking, asking if I got home safe. The DM was from Godwin Jimmy. He asked me if I got home safe, and because it was the period of Christmas, he was like, "Oh, I hope I didn't encounter any traffic and the rest." So I responded to my DM. I responded to the DM, and we got talking. He asked me about what I do in tech, in terms of blockchain. Because on my profile I had blockchain, I had consensus and the rest. So we got talking from there, and we got to the point where we exchanged numbers, because it was Twitter. Obviously, you have to wait till the person responds and you respond.
So I had to ask for a number officially, you know. As a Traboski, I had to just ask for a number. So I asked for a number, and you know, sharp guy. She gave me the number because, of course, tight tight guy, founder, accelerate hub. So I got the number. We got on WhatsApp, and we started interacting on WhatsApp day by day. Months went by. We were touching bases, just here and there.
The chatting became frequent at a particular time of the day, which was between 8, 9, and so it continued for like that for like 4 days straight. And now your girl, she don dey catch feelings and the rest. So so I had to ask like what's happening here. I had to ask myself what's happening here. And like these messages are becoming frequent, and I need to know what is happening before I get like fully into this stuff.
And every sharp guy, every hard guy has that one moment. When I know so when you had to, you just and before you know, you lose your heart to the very one person, just to one person. So yeah, and that was it. And yeah.
This was then around 2020, the time of the COVID period, and everyone was at home. There was no movement and the rest. So um, we didn't have any physical contact. It was just via WhatsApp. We were chatting, and then it got to the point where I had to ask the question because the chat was coming. It was becoming frequent at a particular time. So I had to. One day he chatted me up and said he had a discussion with his friend, and he was telling his friend about me. And the friend was like, "Guy, remove your body, please. This is not the time for that and the rest." So he started repeating the fact that he was not ready for anything. He repeated it, and I was like, okay. In my mind, I was like, okay. And it was like, he's not ready for anything. He's not ready for anything. I'm like, this one person that is saying he's not ready for anything. Me, I'm not at that stage. I'm just there to try out things because age is not my side according to societal standard. And if this person that is supposedly we are chatting and this person has this kind of view, it's better I find out now to be safe, to be on the safe side, and not to assume that things will go as the Lord will have it. So I had to ask that question. So immediately after he repeated it for a while that he was not ready for anything, I had to ask him, okay, since you're not ready for anything, probably it's time to pause and reevaluate. Maybe if you are not ready now, we could remain as friends. There is no need to go on this kind of like emotional roller coaster and the rest. So I told him like, you have 2 days to come up with a decision, and if you are not interested, we could end it here because really we have not gotten on any dates. So basically there was nothing lost. It was just time that we have dedicated to chatting. So that was how I let him go, and it got to the following day, and I was already started mourning the fact that probably this will end at that time. So I got a message that, no, I'm not going to leave you, blah blah blah. I want us to discuss on what's the way forward.
About the ultimatum, you know how this Calabari people is. Well, anyway, it was neutral for me because I think it was important anyway that such question be brought up. The earlier you trash such matters, the better. But it was a good bet. I think I took a good bet, and I believe I did not miss. I did not lose for taking a good bet. Yeah. So but there was no pressure of any sort. Senior man, you cannot just threaten senior man like that. I'm like my governor, you can't just threaten me like that. So it was a casual bet.
So thank God I'm here. The kind lamba this guy dey give on herself, I don't understand. He's lying, point blank lie.
It's not like
So
it's being resourceful.
when I gave the ultimatum, Oga start to crew. He don't catch feelings already, and that's what I want to note. It's important to know when to ask, because if you're asking a guy that is not into you at that point, it can go both ways. It can end everything,
Yeah.
or it can scale things up. So at the point where I asked that question, that was the right time to ask it, and he was tensioned immediately, and the 2 days he did not even finish the 2 days. He did not the first day did not even complete, and he came running back like he does not want that. He does not want
I was never
allow me talk now. I never talk finish. So Oga came back with that he cannot, like, he cannot live without me. Like, now the love of his life.
Yeah,
So
that kind of thing.
that was how we set the boundaries. So talk your own.
So I like talking. So meanwhile, you know how these things is now. I was avoiding too much unnecessary feedback from the press. I was trying to avoid. They will say, guys are not serious. You're just no. I was trying to be a responsible gentleman. So it's not fair to just keep a lady hanging like that. So I think I just.
Oh God.
I just had to reach out, to find out, these things. Sometimes you just be checking and all that. I was just checking in at that point to ensure that the ultimatum was a real ultimatum and all that kind of thing. But like she said, I think it's important to ask the right questions, and also timing is important. One of the things I've also now come to also find out that a lot of people ask these questions quite too early, when the other person is not invested, and that can offset the balance of everything, right? So there needs to be proper timing. You need to understand when the other party is invested, if it's the right time, before a lot of entanglements, before you get into a lot of entanglements, because when you're in that space where there are lots of entanglements, it's going to be quite difficult to ask these questions, because you will just hope that in the heart of the other person, or you will assume that this is what the other person is thinking, and this is what you're thinking. So both of you can keep on running on assumption for the next 4, 5, 6 years, and there's no.
So imagine I did not ask that question. Oga would have been going with the flow. I would have been going with the flow, and probably the relationship would have been 5 years with no goal setting, nothing.
I'm a project manager. It's a project. I manage projects. So you can't say it.
Oh, project management, no, there
would have been a roadmap. There would have been a roadmap. You understand? There would have been milestones, right? And the products to be released at the end of the day.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yo, the ting goes.